One of the fun facts I said about myself on my other channel was that I love the Predator franchise. The Predator franchise is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Now, have I seen every single movie? No, because some did not look that good. And when I mean some, I mean that one specifically. But I've seen most of the movies. And when it just comes to the Predator in general, it hits a lot more than it misses, period. At least in my opinion. From a comic book, from, well, okay, wait, not that comic book, because that definitely missed, yeah. But that doesn't matter. Like, comment, subscribe, it helps. From some of his games to obviously the main core, the movies itself. I kind of almost remember like it was yesterday. I remember my dad put me on to the first Predator movie and how fucking amazingly cool that was. Seeing these people try to fight this creature that literally is an embodiment of all the cultures that are warriors on this planet. And at the same time having a little bit of a conversation about what we were doing in the time period, or what we did do before as an army or as a military, and having it be almost like a borderline spoof at times, like especially in the beginning where you do have a lot of over exaggeration when it comes to either the muscles or the over patriotism or just action movies that were at the time period and how over the top they were. And after a few movies, it feels like it just spawns the concept of I can quite literally give you any situation and just put a Predator in it, and it becomes an insane fucking movie or insane fucking animation that did come out last year. Check that out on youtube.com/tnjugo. But fast forward again, we gotta enter Predator Badlands.
Deck of the Yautja. Yautja is a great traveling companion.
This is what is asked of us.
I have so much to tell you.
Man, Predator Badlands was amazing. I know I will be probably one of the minor people when it comes to saying this, but I really do like Aliens vs Predator, the first movie, although just the first movie. Even that would like still make me kind of get crucified for liking that movie. But I'm glad they took elements from that movie and implanted it into Predator. And when I mean elements, I mean specifically Weyland Yutani. I'm glad they actually had a movie where it's just a movie where Weyland Yutani and the Predators kind of interact, and seeing how that would go. Now, this situation is completely different than seeing a regular Predator interact with Weyland Yutani, but it's still extremely cool and interesting nonetheless. Now, the story first starts out with a character by the name of Deck. He's fighting his brother Quay for some reason. Now, this fight ends up being a pretty long and cool ass fight, but we then end up going to a spaceship and he wants to actually go on a hunt to prove himself. And as he's saying, you know what, I want to fight the thing my father couldn't fight, and he thinks he's fearful of, the unkillable Kalisk. So as they're leaving the spaceship, the actual father arrives and he says, why isn't Deck dead? Now, Deck is the weakest of his tribe and he wants him out of it. They have to get out of the weak. The weak must be purged from their blood. We must only have the strong, and that's the only thing that must survive. His brother doesn't want to do that. His brother actually has genuine emotion for his brother instead of being an emotionless person like any other Predator normally would be. And Deck has the same thing. He has a whole bunch of rage in him and a whole bunch of emotion that we will see throughout the movie later on. His father ends up killing Quay, and Deck actually ends up escaping to the planet where the Kalisk is, and he has to attempt to kill the Kalisk and then come back to his planet to then kill his father. This movie delivers on a lot of parts. Whether one will talk about the title of the movie itself, Predator Badlands, this truly is the Badlands. From start to end, you get what you get in a Predator movie, which is one, a whole bunch of action. Two, this really is the Badlands in the sense of from start to end, this is a place you never want to be. You're never safe. You always have to look over your shoulder because there's always something coming out of the woodwork. And I make that be known clearly with a whole bunch of act sequences involving either the plant life that's surrounding the area, why it's so bad, the animals that are so strong and dangerous, or how large they may be in scope, and us seeing what a Predator does best, hunt. And even if Quay is the weakest of the Predators, he is still highly trained and gets better and better throughout the whole movie. Another reason why I love this movie is because it doesn't really stray off of what the Predator movies realistically are, with the three things being one, action, two, either strong or subtle messaging, and three, which would be getting small little bits of information or crumbs about the Predator. Just from the movie standpoint is what I mean. Now, they excel at that, but also give us a good movie at the same time. One of the main topics I want to get into is definitely the characters. I love the relationship between Deck as well as Quay and how much he genuinely loved his brother, so much to the point of him giving his life ultimately in the end for his brother. From all the actions he's committed for his brother ever since Deck saved Quay as children. Quay literally has been looking out for Deck throughout the whole 15 first minutes of the movie, with him, one, not wanting to fight him when he almost falls off a cliff and he doesn't really have a sword in his hand and his back is turned. Normally a Predator is supposed to kill him, as well as in this specific situation he's supposed to kill his brother because he's weak, but again, he doesn't do that. He then also gives him advice as they're fighting to be a better better fighter, even though he's supposed to kill him. And lastly, he also tells Deck that, hey, you shouldn't go for the unkillable callus. I want to give you another chance, and I want you to go for something else. But Deck is very ignorant and very rageful. He's like, I'm a very prideful person. I can actually kill the unkillable callus, leading to his brother's Kuei's ultimate demise, his death. Deck seemingly infects people around him with his kindness. His kindness in turn saves his life multiple times, from Kuei, from Tia the android, or even Bud the Callus's son. Seeing how things can change for a predator, you can have a clan with different other members with a more nuanced way of thinking, of you having a bit more kindness in regards to the people around you that you want to surround yourself and realistically have a family. In combination with this, I do love how Deck finds himself. I do love how he does find his own family tribe and what he needs, what he does not need, what he can adapt to, and how he's gonna go moving forward. He doesn't need to be his father. He wants to be his father. He wants to be a strong Yautja. He wants to be the head of the clan, of the tribe that he's in, but he can surpass that. He can be better than them, better than all of them, but taking and leaving certain aspects from his past lifestyle and moving forward in a better direction, whether that be literal in the actual him grabbing the cloak, or being mentally where him just leaving his rage and moving forward, in combination with working with others. Which leads me to the next person, which is Thea the android that works for Weyland-Yutani. Now, normally, honestly, I do not trust androids whatsoever when it comes to Weyland-Yutani, because they can be either A, taken over, or B, they can just quietly fuck over any and everything that you're doing, especially if it gains sentient life on its own without Weyland-Yutani. And that doesn't change for this movie either. I didn't trust Thea whatsoever from beginning to the end of the movie, but as we slowly see who Thea is, the android, we kind of find out, oh, she actually does care about the people on this planet or the predator itself, because she doesn't want the predator, one, to die, but two, she actually has more emotions than all the other androids that are on the planet, and that actually helps, one, the predator, but two, helps her have genuine cognition when it comes to the Yautja, and her having feelings of, wow, I'm really fucking up, in the sense of, I don't want the Yautja to get experimented on. I actually don't kind of want to be here. These people don't really want me to exist. I'm more or less just part of the company, and my sister that I thought that was my sister doesn't actually want to be my sister. She realizes that there's a lot more to it when it comes to the idea of living than it's put off to be. It's a more positive aspect of living, where she looks at it from like the eyes of someone who chooses empathy. Now her sister is actually the opposite of that. Tessa had gained the same thing of emotions, but she's mostly involved with the idea of rage, and kind of almost idea to the way of the predator, with her, one, being consumed by rage, but two, only going for the objective, and three, cutting off anything that gets in her way. And what truly seals the deal when it comes to this idea is where she actually says that I'm not going to do the same thing that Yautja did for his brother. I'm actually going to cut off the fat that needs to be cut off, which is her sister, Thea. And it's a dark realization that Thea has, because from the viewer's perspective, this is now a turning point and a confirmation that this relationship isn't like Deck and Kuei. It's more like Deck and his father, with similar motivations and acts and sad ways to get to that OBJ that you're seeking for. Where predators scouring the galaxy to hunt and basically doing anything for the hunt, you then have Weyland-Yutani scouring the universe and doing anything to get the information that they seek for. But I highly suggest this movie. I love Predator Badlands. I think it's a very, very good add to the series of already stacked movies when it comes to the franchise of the Predator itself. So like I said before, I highly suggest it. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the comments. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye. Also look at my other channel. Goodbye.